bit more about it. Let's actually talk with him.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I am joined by Balls of Cloud9 after their victory over Renegades. You guys were talking about the damage. Nobody wanted to fight him. 539 from the top lane. You said you had a pretty fun game. What was it kind of like going back and forth? The lane swap went in your favor. What were you guys thinking the whole time?
Well, I think after I did that TP bot, there's nothing I could do to, like, whenever there's fights on the other side, I couldn't join. So it's just like, yo, watch out for Quinn and don't die. And then I'll just get the turret and then that's it.
It's just pretty much stay safe and I'll do all the work. It worked out perfectly for the team. And I want to talk a little bit about your feature. You talked about Rush a little bit and what's it like having him in the other opponent's jungle. What is it like playing with Rush, being a top laner?
Well, Rush is really aggressive. He's always invading the other side jungle. So I'm just telling him to be careful, don't die, and that's it.
I got two more questions for you. Last year, towards the end of the year, you're kind of getting a little bit of guff from the community about top lane play, about whatever here and there at Worlds. What are your goals for this season? What are you going to prove for everybody, and what are you going to do for Cloud9?
Become best top laner again.
Easy. Says it. We're going to see it happen. Cloud9 fans are definitely going to be behind you. But one more question for you, Balls, before you go hang out with the team. Energy tomorrow. How's the team feeling about it?
We're feeling good right now. We're getting better after each and every week, so just getting better and better.
Right on. They broke the Saturday curse, got a win on it. Look to get one tomorrow. Congratulations and best of luck. We're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down the rest of that game.
Thank you very much, Riv. 539 damage, but he didn't need to do any more damage. We had a sub 20-minute game, our third so far in LCS history, all happening this split. Cloud9 showing their immortal side of their play.
Yeah, this was a unique game in so many ways. Sub 20-minute game. Last year, I have to reference this because this damage graph looks so funny. Kid from IG had a 443 damage game on Vayne, and it became the meme of the 443 game. He got flamed for it constantly for the whole year, maybe even ruined his career in a lot of ways. Balls did 84 more damage in a win, and they won. And it wasn't because he played bad, it's because the rest of the team was just crushing so hard. That, to me, is one of the most unlikely things I've ever seen. That you can win a game with 539 damage.
I mean, sometimes that's all he has to do, right? He's pushing out the waves. You know, he's creating pressure that way. He's making people respond to him, and like you said, his team's doing the damage, so he didn't really have to.
Yeah, his team is making all of these crazy plays. Like Rush is applying pressure in multiple lanes, and then Jensen is also engaging. So it was actually quite a unique game to be a top laner in because you're pretty much just like, okay, I'm up here farming, like solo queue where your team is winning it for you.
I want to talk a little bit about this evolving playstyle for Cloud9 because we have been rather critical of Rush and his farm-heavy, pressure-oriented in terms of the jungle, but not necessarily helping out his lanes the way we're used to the old C9 with Meteos focusing top. In this game, there seemed to be a little bit more of that pressure focus in the top lane, Nidalee hovering around the top side, allowing Balls to push up to that second-tier turret while still providing cover so that a Rek'Sai gank wouldn't tilt that matchup of Quinn versus Fiora.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of the other matchups and stuff, in these other games that he's been playing, he gets these double CS leads, these massive leads, and he just kept pushing it and pushing it until he gets caught, right? And this one, he got a lead, and not nearly as big as he had in some of the other ones, but he used that to help his team. He really used that to keep Balls safe in this matchup, which was, you know, we saw Huni play that. It was supposed to be kind of the counter pick to Fiora, and it was really just tilted by Rush. He was able to keep Balls safe, allowing him to keep him farming, and RF really wasn't able to do anything, right? Like,
yeah, on that note, though, in terms of Fiora's 11-1 in the North American LCS, and that one loss is against that Quinn. So they were able to target that matchup and keep him safe and pretty much hide Balls the entire game and not have him go up against RF.
Yeah, and with the draft, like we all kind of thought it was clever. Oh man, they swapped the Poppy and the Quinn so far at the end. And Poppy's such an expected top laner. Last week there were 30 top lane Poppy games, 1 in the jungle and 4 in support. So when it's picked early, you think it's top lane.
Right.
But when we thought about it and saw it play out during the game, putting Poppy at support crippled the power of the Caitlyn pick because they were getting shoved in by the Morgana support. And really, since Rush provided so much power top lane, that pick swap ended up backfiring pretty hard on Renegades.
Right, we saw what would have been a lot of pressure coming from a Caitlyn lane, meaning because they kept them in the bot lane. They didn't choose to do a 2-turret trade. They chose, let's have this matchup, and yet they got pushed in by Lucian and Morgana. Then that pressure in the top lane was what enabled the TP for balls down to the bot lane, kind of got the ball rolling there. Now I want to return to your point about Jensen's play and take another look at that, because we see a team here, it's a poke composition that has 0 frontline. Nidalee, Orianna, Morgana up at a turret, throwing out their skill shots, the ball movement, the bindings, and the spears, while Caitlyn then has the safety, because of this aggressive play style from Jensen, to actually put damage onto the turret. Have a replay 16 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, where then they can actually capitalize on the initiation of Jensen.
And a lot of this is a pre-20-minute game, right? And the reason it is because Jensen is not playing a farm-style Orianna. He's going in with the engage here, and he lands multiple ultimates, and it's just everybody seems to be on the same page for one of the first times in Cloud9 this season.
Recent history.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
It's really beautiful to watch, because Jensen and Rush haven't seemed to have a lot of synergy up in the early parts of the season. Now they seem to actually be on the same page, and I mean, the conversation has to be, where's the ceiling for them? Where are they going to keep getting better? And is that going to smooth out over time even more?
And I mean, if Jensen can keep having games like this, the ceiling is pretty damn high. I mean, he played fantastic. People talk a lot about Orianna and the 3-item power spikes. You know, once you have, you know, your regen item, your death cap, your void staff, you're super, super threatening. He kind of dispelled this myth. He showed you that you can play aggressive early. You can position forward. He wasn't playing it like a zone control mage. He was playing it super, super aggressively, looking for these ult initiations. He had one top lane that caught out freeze. He had, you know, a couple in the jungle that were really good. That mid lane one, you know, he was really making stuff happen and was a huge catalyst in this win.
And he made the composition work, because when you look at the team comp, oh, maybe they lack some hard engage. How are they going to get in? A flash Orianna ult is going to catch 3 people consistently. The reliability of his engages was almost analogous to Lissandra. But he was on Orianna with a different laning phase and a stronger late game scaling. Like, it was really, really impressive.
And he prioritized that cooldown. Early Lucidity boots plus the Athene's Unholy Grail meant that these, more ults. So they weren't at a loss for initiation, because he was able to provide that very often. Real quick hit on Renegades. What's going on with this team, right? We've seen the first game with Hakuho, rather, on this Poppy. Didn't necessarily scream anything to us. I know we've already spoken about how that was a tough lane, but the state of Renegades, it's getting to that point in the season, you're approaching the halfway point, not picking up these wins. What needs to change?
I feel like there was just, they didn't really seem to know exactly what they wanted to do. There was a lot of kind of buys that were a little bit confusing to me. I was a little bit confused by the early Swifties on Crumbs. You know, it's like, if you get this really kind of aggressive tool, this allows you to chase people down and stuff, I feel like you need to be making something happen. And I was kind of worried for him, because he picks up the early Swifties, and then you see going up against a Nidalee, Rush loves to invade. He, you know, is building AP early, and he's going to have so many more combat stats if they did meet. So it's like, if you're going to go with something like that, there needs to be a plan to follow up on that. He needs to be working aggressively, maybe with that Poppy support, and going and looking for the Nidalee, or just doing something, right? You need to make that buy worth something.
Hit on the back foot rather for Renegades there. Not a great game from them, but a nice victory for Cloud9 coming up. Find out if CLG will be the team to disrupt Immortals from their winning streak in our match of the week. We'll be back in just 3.5.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. My voice is so beautiful.
No one. Nope.
I forgot the lyrics.
I go take some turret damage, and he can't do anything. Oh no, he stays too long!
Go, go,
I'm
go,
getting
go.
bot turret. I'm getting bot turret.
Careful, rise. No mana. Back up, rush. Fight together. Go. Careful.
I'm getting bot turret. I got bot turret.
That's good. Let's get out.
Even with the binding, it's still... Oh, it's gonna be a big shockwave! Oh no! 3 picked up already. Jensen's shockwaves have been on point. Black Shield comes in, and somehow he's still alive. That means a trade, and that means a shockwave for 2 more. Another double kill for Jensen. Cloud9 demolished Renegades.